What up, though? So, two major increases are happening. Xbox Series X and S are increasing in prices come August 1st, 2026, which will be their second increase. If I'm not mistaken, October 2025 was their first increase. And then we have Apple. Apple had to increase the prices of their MacBooks and iPads, some models, not all. But for the Apple situation, I'm like, really? Do you really need to increase the price? Y'all already selling y'all products at a premium as is. Do you really need to increase the price of your MacBooks and a few select of your iPads? Like, come on now. And this is coming from somebody who is a Apple fan girl. I am wrapped up, tangled, tied up in the Apple ecosystem. I have an iPhone. I got I got three iPads. iPad Pro, the iPad, just the basic one, then the iPad Mini, and then I have an iPhone 17 Pro Max. And if they come out with that fold this year, Lord have mercy. But let's get into these articles. Let's go right here. Let's go with the first one with Apple. So Apple raises MacBook and iPad prices as memory costs surge. Surging memory and storage costs linked to the AI data center boom have made the hikes unavoidable as per Apple. And this article came out earlier today, June 25th, 2026. And I was just speaking with my husband, and it's like the US, when President Trump announced the whole AI push, we kind of put ourselves in a bit of a pickle trying to outdo China and everybody with this whole AI deal. And he was thinking that maybe since the US government kind of caused this problem, should they step in and try to issue some regulations to help alleviate the problem they actually caused. So we was having that conversation just a few minutes ago. Apple has raised the US prices of several MacBook and iPad models, including the MacBook Neo, which it launched for $599 less than 4 months ago. Dang. That was launched 4 months ago? Don't seem like it was that short a time ago. The company's cheapest laptop now starts at $699, while some MacBook Pro configurations have increased by $300. And then MacBook Pros ain't no joke with the price already out the gate. To increase by $300? Wow. The changes affect the Apple Neo, Air, MacBook Pro, iPad Air, and iPad Pro. Of course, it's going to hit the iPad Pro. Apple has not changed the hardware or storage included with these models, so consumers are simply paying more for the same configurations. So let's get into these prices. So the Neo is going up, increasing to $100. The 13-inch MacBook Air, the 512 gigabyte configuration, is increasing to $200. The 14-inch MacBook Pro, 1 terabyte, is increasing to $300, and I believe that's the one I have, and that's increasing to $300. 16-inch MacBook Pro is increasing to $300. I mean, that's already, look at that price. Good Lord. And it doesn't tell us what's the storage capacity, and I really don't know out the gate what the storage capacity is. But it was already at $26.99. Good Lord. The 11-inch iPad Air, the 128 gigabyte, is going up to $150. The 13-inch iPad Air, 128 gigabyte, is going up, increasing to $150. 11-inch iPad Pro, 256 gigabyte configuration, is going up to $200, increasing by $200, and the 13-inch iPad Pro 256 gigabyte is increasing by $200. So this would trip me out. The updated prices are already appearing on Apple's US online store. So these prices are already in effect. And I just confirmed, I went to the Apple website, and these prices have taken effect already. So this is not a warning this is going to increase. This is a shadow drop price increase. They shadow dropped a price increase on us literally today. So you got hit over the head with those prices. Do I really want to read the rest of this? No. But let's go down here. Apple blamed the increases on the rapidly rising costs of DRAM and NAND flash, which provide system memory and device storage. The company told Reuters that it had tried to shield customers from the increases but could no longer absorb them. How? How? Y'all already selling y'all stuff at a high price already. What you talking about absorb? We have never seen a component price increase this much this quickly. Tim Cook had already warned that price increases were coming. Cook said Apple's existing component inventory had softened the immediate impact, but the higher memory costs would increasingly affect the company after the June quarter. Much of the pressure comes from the construction of AI data centers. Memory manufacturers are directing more production toward high margin server products, leaving PC, tablet, and smartphone makers competing for the remaining supply, which now makes me think if Apple does come out with that fold, how much more is that going to be initially? It was probably already going to be more expensive than when Samsung did theirs. That just seems to be the norm of what Apple does. But how much more is it going to be now with how the economy and this AI situation is going? It's crazy how prices are just stupid. Like it's like let me turn my fan down. It's like the prices are just like absolutely stupid. Like I mentioned earlier from the conversation my husband and I were having, maybe the government does need to step in and try to somehow course correct the problem that they caused. So let's go over here. Let's go to Xbox. So Xbox, they are increasing their prices. I believe this is the second increase. I believe they increased back in October 2025. And now this is the second increase coming August 1st of 2026. So Microsoft raises Xbox console prices by up to $150. Discontinues the 2 terabyte version. I mean, yeah, selling the 2 terabyte version would be insanity right now, especially at the rate of these prices are going. And it just makes me so much happier because I got a PS5, the disc version, the one terabyte configuration, and before the prices got stupid out of control, I bought the Western Digital 4 terabyte SSD because a lot of the games I play on my PS5, I do get them digitally. I collect majority of my physical media for my Nintendo Switch 2 because that's my main gaming console that I play on, and my PlayStation is like that secondary console. So when people were talking about GTA 6 being digital or coding box and the outcry and the crash outs, I got it because I kind of feel the same way about game key cards with the Nintendo Switch 2. It's a lot of companies, Square Enix, Bandai Namco, what's another one? It's a couple more other ones that all you have seen from them for the Switch 2 releases of their games have been only game key cards. And Capcom, a major one. And I get that because I look at the GTA 6 coding box the same as a game key card. I know you can, at least you can resell the game key card. You can't resell a coding box, yes, but I'm just comparing the equivalency of me crashing out over game key cards and the people who love GTA 6 crashing out over the code in box. To me, it's the same thing because I feel the same way. And even though I'm going to pick up GTA 6, I never played a GTA game before, downloading it didn't hit me as hard as it did like diehard, true to form GTA fans. For me, it was just like I buy digital on my PS5 anyway. Now, if it would have came to the Switch like that, then it would have been a problem for games that I deem like just as important as GTA 6. Like for instance, I think Bandai Namco. Now, I'm not a Souls fan. I haven't even played the Souls. I played Souls-like games before, but not a true like Souls game. Bandai Namco is coming out with Elden Ring, or is that Capcom? I don't know. Y'all, I think it's Bandai Namco. It's coming out. Let me look it up. Let me make sure. So I just checked. It is Bandai Namco who has released all their Switch 2 games on a GameCube card. And I make the comparison, like if I was a true Elden Ring fan and I wanted to get the tarnished edition that they're coming out with for the Nintendo Switch 2 for my Switch 2, and discovering that it's a game key card, that would make me so angry that they couldn't even put the full game plus the DLC on a proper Switch 2 cartridge. This is a game of the year game, and you telling me y'all couldn't fork over the money to put this game that has so much legacy and just like icon on a proper Switch 2 cart? And I don't even think it's that big of a file. I don't even think that this is over 64 gigabytes, to be honest with you. No, so it's estimated to be around 50 gigabytes, and it costs $80. And it has the DLC and everything on it, tarnished edition. And you telling me y'all couldn't just go ahead and put that on a 64 gigabyte Switch 2 cartridge? That would piss me off. It's pissing me off because I want to get it because I want to get into playing Souls games, but that's pissing me off. That pissed a lot of people off. The $80 price, I get it. However, it would be more digestible if it was on a proper Switch 2 cart and not on a freaking game key. So I understand the GTA 6 crash out. I do understand it. So Xbox, let's get back there. I just went on a random rant right there. So Xbox is raising console prices by up to $150 and getting rid of that 2 terabyte, which does make sense. Back in March, Sony increased PlayStation 5 prices again. That was the second increase, because the first increase was January 2025, and then the increase in prices from there to this year, and the third increase supposedly is supposed to happen on August 1st. So Xbox and PlayStation is supposed to increase on August 1st. We know the prices for Microsoft, but PlayStation has not announced the prices yet, and if they're going to still move forward with the increase. But that is what they had announced earlier, that August 1st they were going to be doing another increase on PlayStation. It's now Microsoft's turn. Today, the company announced a major price increase that will affect all of its Xbox consoles, and one storage option is being discontinued entirely. There is some time before the new prices go into effect. Well, that's nice. Unlike Apple, shadow dropping price increases. Starting on August 1st, 2026, any Xbox Series XS model with 512 gigabytes of storage will cost, for real, goodness gracious, costs $100 more than now. The price of 1 terabyte models will go up by $150 instead. At the same time, all 2 terabytes, we know that. The entire consumer electronic industry is struggling with the current components crisis, but the effects are particularly hard on consoles. Unlike phones, computers, speakers, and other consumer devices, consoles are typically not sold at a profit, but instead for less than they cost to make, which brings me back to my initial thought about the Steam Machine. The Steam Machine coming out with the prices that they are at, and even though that might be a ridiculous price, it kind of makes you think, did they come out with the price and for it to never increase? Versus Xbox and PlayStation, it's like punches and bunches. They just coming out with their price increase a little bit here, a little bit here, and then they spread it out with a whole lot of months in between, like punches and bunches. And then it's like, y'all knocking me over the head, like to the white meat. Am I at the white meat now? Can I put a bandage over it? Like, am I at the white meat? Or this is You just barely hitting the surface before you get to the white meat. I don't understand. Like, y'all sell the stuff at a loss. So what's the actual price then? And when I'm reading this, and I'm just like, wow, how many more jabs I gotta take before we finally get to the price where it was supposed to cost? Good Lord. As the hikes hit, Microsoft is beginning to offer more options to make its consoles more accessible to potential customers, including financing, buy now, pay later schemes, and refurbished options. So this is the buy now, pay later, interest-free financing, previously played consoles, certified refurbished consoles. Microsoft said that the rising cost of storage and memory prices is behind this decision, with costs going up by over 2.5 times since the last time it raised prices of its consoles. Good Lord. The company says these parts are expected to double in price by the fall of 2027. So that's another thing. If the price is supposed to double in 2027, we have not experienced the full blow yet from Xbox and PlayStation and from Apple neither. So people want to hate on Valve and the Steam machine and us get knocked over the head with those prices, but those prices are true to form. And what we should see as the AI boom starts to decline, we should see that the prices of the Steam machine should start declining and going back to normalcy, I guess you would call it. And will Xbox and PlayStation get to a point to where they're just too high for anybody to even justify? I mean, honestly, right now, I'm about to show you this spreadsheet I made. Is it too high right now to even justify getting a PlayStation or an Xbox? And people like to hit on the Switch, but they're only increasing prices by $50 coming September 1st from $449.99 to $499.99. And in Japan, those prices have already taken effect. Here in the States, our first price increase will become September 1st. So, I mean, you can't hate on that, except for, the console just came out. But my theory about that is that the Switch, Nintendo with the Switch 2, that initial price, the $449.99, was the price increase. Was them bracing for the impact of the US economy. That's why the prices were much cheaper in Japan. But I think they were bracing for what was already to come and what was already here. That's why we have the initial price of $449.99. The $50 increase is only $50 because they already, so to speak, increased the price initially. This is just my opinion. I have no evidence to back this up, but that's just my opinion, that the reason why it was high to begin with is because they adjusted for that price, and then the increase is a softer blow because they already adjusted, and they have already kind of adjusted because they are increasing the prices for the Nintendo Switch Online. They're increasing those prices as well. So it's like a twofold. We're getting a little soft blow here and a soft blow here. That way it's not a bust it to the white meat type blow like Xbox and PlayStation is doing. And I think that was kind of like the initial, I think that was their what you call it, Nintendo's thought process when they delayed it, or when they came out with the pricing, this and that and the third. I think it was their overall consensus, if I'm not mistaken. So there might be some evidence out there to help support what I just said. I take that back. But then, we come to the steam machine, like I said, we got the blue check. This is the one that we got on the wish list for. So guess within the next couple of days, we'll hopefully receive an email saying that, we're a go. But and the price, yeah, it's a shock to the system. But like I said, we shouldn't see an increase from the steam machine because it's already there. It's already true to form. So getting hit with that initially, it is what it is. And even though it's older technology, it's still a newer product. Whereas you have an older product with technology that's still good and still better than the steam machine in some regards. But you in the industry where those prices for the Xbox and PlayStation are supposed to be going in the opposite direction. And if PlayStation does another price increase August 1st, 2026, that will be the third increase. The third increase on a console, on a product, would still, I don't know if you say up to date, but still kind of current. I would say current technology. That would be a product that is increasing instead of decreasing. So older product, current tech, but instead of declining in price, it's constantly increasing in price. So while the steam machine price, it will either go down or stay stagnant, could we possibly see the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox X and S continuously increase, which would be crazy, which would be absolutely crazy moving forward if that is the case. And then you talking about the next Xbox, what, the Helix project, and the PlayStation 6. Is there going to be really a market for that? I know that Xbox, I believe PlayStation as well, is doing the financing, and they could throw some other incentives in there. Like if you get the Game Pass or whatever, then we'll knock off the price here, this and that and the third, because they're trying to make up that cost. But are they going to lock you into oh, well, you have to have a 2-year subscription, like, fixed. If you cancel beforehand, then we're going to charge you the full price of the system. Like phones used to do. The phones used to do that back in the day? I think so. Somebody used to do that back in the day. Like some other techs used to do that back in the day. Like you have to be locked in to this 2-year plan with their online gaming whatever pass, or they're going to charge you the full amount of the system. So they can get that much, so they can pretty much guarantee themselves that money by giving you this deal. That's crazy, man. That's crazy to even think about. I made a little spreadsheet. Let's go to this. Lord have mercy. Sorry about that. I had to take a phone call right quick. But so this is a little spreadsheet that I made. And I don't think I'm 100% accurate on this. I think I'm missing some information. But this is just to give you just a quick glimpse at some of the pricing and the increases over time. So for the PS5, the disc and the digital version both released November 12th, 2020. The disc at $500 and the digital at $400. January of 2025, the disc increased by $50 to $550, and the digital increased by $100 to $400. And the reasoning behind that, from one article I read, is they're trying to push people to digital, and that digital moving forward is going to be the way. I think of it as them trying to move towards the digital realm like music did. Music started off with the CDs, vinyl. Some of that stuff is actually coming back now. And I think their whole purpose is to kind of do what the music industry did, is move people off from the physical medium to majority digital and streaming. And I think the gaming industry is trying to tap into that market. I don't think it's been as successful and as seamless as the music industry pulled it off. And like I mentioned earlier, August 1st is set to be the third release. Excuse me, I got my things wrong. So this was the first price increase. The second, the real second price increase was back in March, and it was like so right now the current prices is $649 and $599. So $600 and $650 are the current prices right now for the PS5 disc and digital. This is the first increase. If you go to the website now, you'll see the second increase, and then the third increase, which would be August 1st if it does go down, and we don't know that price yet. So my spreadsheet is a little inaccurate. And then for the Xbox, it released November 10th, 2020. The disc and the digital, and the Series S 512 gigabyte configuration. 500, 500, and then 300. And then October of 2025, it increased to 650, 600, and then 400. And August 1st, all these are supposed to be increasing to 800, 750, and 500. Lord have mercy. That's a lot. And I got these because, it says for the 1 terabyte configurations, it's supposed to be increasing by $150. And for the 512, $100. All I saw when I went to the website, the Xbox website, all I saw for the Series X was the 1 terabyte configuration. I didn't see a 512 configuration. The 512 configuration that I saw was only for the Series S. And that's why it only increased by $100. But everyone else increased by $150. And the Series S also increased by $150 because it's the 1 terabyte configuration. And that was initially released in 2023. I don't know what month or the day, but that was initially released in 2023. It came out at $350. In October of last year, it increased by $100 to $450, and then August 1st, it will increase by $150, which would take it up to $600, and that's crazy. And then they're talking about the prices of these components are supposed to increase 2 times come 2027. So we haven't even reached like the white meat. We haven't even reached the white meat yet. So we're going to still get bust over top of the head with some more price increases. And then we have the Switch 2, which initially released June 5th of that's supposed to be 2025. 2025. Come on, man. Whatever. June 5th, 2025 at $450, and then September 1st of this year, it would be at $500. So that's not as bad because, like I said, they braced for the impact. And now you're seeing a slight increase. And we don't know if they're probably not going to be doing any more increases this year, but no telling next year they might do some more increases. But like I mentioned, the Nintendo Switch Online platform, they are doing some increases. So that's kind of softening the blow. And then they're releasing $80 games. So there you have that as well. And then we come to the Steam machine. Now, we just saw the prices in there, and this is basically the basis of this whole video, is that we shouldn't see a price increase for the Steam machine ever, to be honest. There should not be a price increase for the Steam machine ever. It should be on the decline, or at least it should stay. Man, if you don't shut up, golly, it should stay at that price. And if it does go down, it'll stay at that price. And if it does go up, it will only go up to the initial price, back to the original price. So that's my whole thought. Like, there shouldn't be no increases from where it's at. It shouldn't be. I don't think Valve would do us like that. I don't think Steam would do us like that. But who knows? I mean, we in some crazy times that we in some crazy, crazy times. Downtown in those comments is the way that my love, and while you down there, freak that like button and let's have a conversation. Do you think that the government should step in and do some slight regulations to kind of correct or at least square the business that they kind of made, the mess that they made? Like I think that that would benefit the market and the consumer. I know we're trying to beat China and other countries to the punch, but I mean, what's the cost of it's going to be? And how much do we really need this AI technology? Is this AI technology really needed? Is it really worth it? Is it really needed? And is it really going to set us apart, separate us in any type of way? Like, I mean, really, is it really doing us that much of a justice if it's destroying the market? Is it really that beneficial? And then we got to think, I'm not too big on the environment. I'm not one of those. But we have to also kind of calculate that into the equation amongst some other things. Like, what else is being affected with these data centers? For instance, like jobs, land, what's taking up space? How much space is being taken up by these data centers being built? Like, what the job market is looking like? What other trainings that need to go in effect, or schooling, trades? What needs to go in effect so that the American worker can properly shift gears to go into some of these industries? What have we not already calculated for this AI boom? And then on top of that, I think the AI boom is going to go bust. And if it does, and when it does go bust, what is that going to affect? Who is that going to affect? Like, are these data centers going to become graveyards? Is the land that was acquired with these buildings and everything on it, what's going to happen to it if and when it goes up in smoke? Like, have we calculated the downfall that's going to come out of this if it doesn't rise to the occasion that we thought it was going to? Like, what's the consequences of all this? And is it better to do a slow roll and increments instead of doing this hard, go get it type of mentality with this AI situation? Cause man, it's not, as of right now, what kind of purpose is it serving? I really don't know. Maybe y'all can let me know downtown in those comments the purpose AI is serving right now the American people and the economy. Maybe I'm not seeing it, because I think all us normies are seeing is these price increases. We're not really seeing the benefits of this AI. Like, what is it really helping me? Is colleges and universities and trade schools, have they embraced it and started to change their curriculum? Even high schools, getting some of these younger people into AI and this and that and the third. Are they even switching gears and changing their curriculum to teach some of this stuff? What about the teachers? Are the teachers and professors, are they even equipped and knowledgeable in these different industries with AI and all of this stuff? Are they even able to teach this stuff, or whatever goes along with AI in this industry? Are they even knowledgeable to create a curriculum for the upcoming rulers and people of the world, our young people? I don't know. I don't know. Let me know you guys' thoughts. My mind is just going all over the place. It just seems like everything is just getting out of control, and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. But maybe it will. You know, sometimes as someone outside looking in, it's easy to say certain things. It's easier to speak on things that you're not privy to versus being on the inside and having that knowledge. You're not able to speak on it, and you might speak out of turn because you're not tapped in. You know, it's like a field person, and then you have a manager. I said field person, like I'm in IT still, like a like a employee versus a supervisor or a manager. If you got the employees on one end who only see what's on the outside and only see that their managers and supervisors, they're always in meetings. They're always talking about this. They're always talking about that. They're not here on the ground and not realizing they used to be there. They used to be on the ground. But now that they're in this managerial role, it's totally different than when it was when there was an employee. They see things different now and they have to act accordingly. They have to move accordingly. And so it's like that. You got the employees on one hand are just seeing on the surface, but then you have the managers, the managerial team who has been on both sides of the spectrum. So is that where we're at right now? We're just not able, people like me, we're just not able to see it because we're not tapped in. And we're not really understanding or not seeing the benefits of AI and data centers and this and that and the third, or even in government, to be able to see what our adversaries are up to. And that's the reason why we're so gun-ho and pushing hard on this AI push, is because our government officials are seeing something within the world perspective that us here on the ground is not able to see at that big of a scale. But let me know downtown in those comments what you think. Don't forget your keys, your wallet, and your phone on your way out.